Little update review on these Doc Marten Oxblood. They're the 1460 for life model. So if you follow my channel, you've seen loads of coverage in the past on the for life boots. I've been using them for years, since 2012. I don't know, this is probably my 5th or 6th pair. Really good deal. Certainly if you do a lot of walking. £20 to get a new pair of boots. They never repair them, always new boots. It's a good deal. Obviously there's a few quirks and things that I comment on, things I'd like to see them change, particularly the longevity of the sole, or rather the grip on the sole. Now these are no different, to be honest. So 6 months in, and they are getting pretty shiny. So all this area here is smooth, and on the autumn and winter leaves, on wet days, they're going to start getting skiddy. A few more months and you won't be walking on sort of wet grass that happily. The heels all sort of shined out on one side. It's partly down to how I walk over to the side a bit. Can't change that, but they do wear quite heavily. So there's loads of life left in those soles. It's just the tread pattern, it's too shallow, I always say that. But yeah, apart from that, they are great boots. I think they're probably looking still pretty good. I do take a lot more care of these than I used to, just because I want to keep them looking nicer for longer. So I'll wear them to work on the walk in, and I'll swap them out for my sort of more formal workplace shoes. I'll put shoe trees in them at work, so that helps pull out the moisture from your feet that's sort of been put into the boots, and keep a good shape. I also clean them regularly, and that really helps basically keep them looking good. So if we start off with the cleaning, really, I've used lots of products, including the Wonder Balsam on these boots, and whilst I've wanted to prove that something is better than this, this is by far the best product for these boots. It keeps them looking super shiny, super oily, and a really nice deep sort of cherry colour, which is what I like. This is a good product for these boots. I'm not sure if I'd use it on other boots, but for Doc Martens, yeah, I'd say stick with that. It's cheap enough, it lasts forever, pop it on every couple of months. In terms of the colourway or the colouring on the Oxblood, this is a colour I like. It is nice and deep, sort of like a woody sort of conker with a bit of red in it. Really, really nice colour. If you don't keep them oiled up and sort of the leather fed, they start looking quite pink. In fact, when I got them out of the box, they looked quite pink. Not the sort of red colour that I was seeking. And these I really like. They've got a lot of character. They've got a lot of depth in that colour. Aside from the sort of monthly or bi-monthly oiling, the only other thing you really need to do for these is give them a brush. The brush allows whatever oils that are on the boot to be moved around equally, so it keeps them looking as good as they can do, and it keeps the dust out of the welts, and keeps it a bit cleaner, and also the dust and dirt will work into the welt and affect the stitching. But really it's to keep it cosmetically looking good. In terms of waterproofness, because we're talking about the welt, the previous pair to these, which I had, was the Hard Life Black. The welt was a problem. It did start letting water in. I had to work a lot of the Wonder Balsam into the stitching. I heated it up with a hairdryer, forced it in. With these, no problem at all. It must have just been a bad pair or a bad batch, but these have been perfectly waterproof. Which allows obviously the stitching to remain nice and shiny and yellow, so I don't have to oil that. That looks really good. I like the yellow contrast with the Oxblood colouring. Looks really good. The soles, apart from their tread pattern, nice bit of bounce for the first month or two. You soon knock the bounce out. I've never had a pair of sort of wheezing, punctured soles with Doc Martens. I know it's a possibility, but they do lose their bounce. But apart from that, the sole is nice and supple and perfectly serviceable. The laces is something I've commented on before, and they're of a much better quality than they used to be. I used to break these within months. 6th month mark, yeah, there's plenty of life in them. There's a little bit of fraying there. It could do with a bit of a change, and indeed, I've got a spare pack. They look quite brown, but I'm sure these are the right colour. But yeah, I've got a spare pack, so we'll pop these in, give them a new pair of laces before these start breaking, because that's really frustrating. Everything else, if you want to know more, you can check out my other videos. If you want to know about the warranty and how quickly it turns around, check out my other videos. It's all very easy, all very good. One thing unique about this particular colourway, so I had the black, I had the brown, and the browns are discontinued, so basically you've got red or Oxblood and black. But these, the collar piping here is leather. On the other ones, it's always been a plastic. It looks decent to begin with, but then you start to get cracks in it and it looks not good. But that's leather, which is nice. I'm glad to see that. I'm not sure whether we'll find that on the other colours, but certainly on the Oxblood, that will stay looking nice for years. A lot longer than the soles will last. Stitching, general quality, everything's always really good with them. I know people sniff at them because they're made in Thailand. Obviously you can get the English-made Doc Martens, but to be honest, if they're made for the right price point, they're made of the right materials and they're made well enough, I don't really mind where they're made from. I'm just interested in the quality and the comfort, really. Yeah, so that's kind of it. And we'll pop them on, just show you what they look like with a pair of jeans. That's pretty much it. If you want to find out more, go back a few videos. You'll find out lots more about these. Lots of coverage over the years. I always like to show how they wear, because they are different from model to model, and I think people generally sort of respond to that. So if you haven't seen my channel before, please check it out. We might share some other common interests. So quality footwear, denim, everyday carry kit, fountain pens, pen knives, that sort of thing. Recently got back into cycling, which has actually seen these have a bit of an easier life, because I've been riding my bike in them, so they haven't actually had as much wear as they normally would. But yeah, check out the channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you subscribed. Okay, well, I hope that's helpful. I'll see you for the next video.